everybody. Welcome to our Pajama story time. It's Miss Stef, and this time I'm not at the library. I'm actually at home in my house with my own Christmas tree, with my own slippers on for story time, and I'm all ready to go. Our first story that we're going to do tonight is a new Christmas favorite at the library. It's written by Marty Rhodes Figley and illustrated by Marty Kelly. And it's called Santa's Underwear. Oh gosh. All right, looks like it's going to be a pretty funny one. There's clues on the cover to let you know that because the elves are laughing hysterically. That's my dog on the side over here. All right, Santa's Underwear. It was Christmas Eve and time to get ready. Santa shined his belt buckle and polished his best black boots. He ate a healthy dinner to give him energy for the busy night ahead. As Santa munched on his whole wheat bread, visions of delicious sweets danced in his head. Tonight, children would leave tasty treats by their Christmas tree just for him. Yum. He brushed his teeth and then he scrub-a-dub-dubbed in the tub. After blow-drying his hair, Santa combed his silky beard until it shined like the new-fallen snow. Wrapped in his favorite robe, he admired how jolly he looked in the mirror. The hour had come to put on his special Christmas clothes. Santa pulled open the underwear drawer in his dresser and he poked around. But where were his long, red, woolly undies? Even though they were old and faded and saggy, he always wore them under his suit on this special night. They kept him warm as his sleigh soared across the starry, wintry skies. Do you think maybe some of his friends know where his long red underwear, long underwear went? Let's see. Santa looked through the rest of his drawers. He checked the dirty clothes hamper, and he peeked under the bed. But all he found there was one white sock and a dusty rubber reindeer toy, and 2 sticky candy canes. Ooh. No red undies. Santa sighed. I guess this year I'll just have to wear something else. So he tried on the pink boxers and the t-shirt that Mrs. Claus had given him last Valentine's Day. It says, "I love you." "Too many hearts and cutesy cupids," he said. So then he buttoned up his green long johns that he wore every St. Patrick's Day. These shamrocks aren't Christmassy at all. His Easter briefs, covered in pictures of dancing jelly beans, made Santa ask, "What was I thinking?" The tighty-whities and undershirt he'd bought for Thanksgiving were now a little too tighty and uncomfortable. Well, he did eat a lot of pumpkin pie that day. Uh-oh, he doesn't have the right underpants for Christmas. His boring regular underwear, well, that just wasn't right for tonight. What was he to do? Could he wear no underwear at all on Christmas Eve? That would certainly make him shiver and quiver out in the cold. Brrr! How do you think the elves feel about no underpants on Christmas Eve? They look kind of upset. Santa threw up his hands in despair. The clock was tick-tocking. Children all over the world were expecting their presents. There was no time to waste. He would just have to wear the silly shamrock long johns. At least they were green and warm. He sighed as he opened the closet door to get his Santa suit. And there, on the hanger, right in front of him, tied with a bow, were brand new Christmas undies. They were just like his old ones, but not saggy, and their color was almost as bright as Rudolph's nose. Look how happy the elves are. A card tied to the front read, "Dear Santa, use this woolly gift tonight. Last Christmas we couldn't help but notice what you really needed were some new undies. Warmest wishes, Rudolph and the reindeer crew. Ho, ho, ho." Decked out in holiday red, Santa admired how twinkly his eyes looked in the mirror. He finished dressing, plopped on his hat, and he raced out the door. As Santa hopped into his sleigh and rose out of sight, you could hear him exclaim, "Thank you, Rudolph, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen. Thanks to Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. Now let's get this show on the road. We've got a job to do. And Merry Christmas to you." Yep, and look, all the reindeer, they're all wearing Santa's old undies. Merry Christmas, everybody, and we'll try another story. All right, it's time for story number 2 of our Pajama story time. This one is one that everybody is probably going to know. It's by Clement Clark Moore and illustrated by Tom Newsom, and this is the classic story of The Night Before Christmas. There's our favorite guy. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. There they all are, ready for Christmas. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Do you know what their names are? We heard them in the last story. Let's see. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount in the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his sack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and he filled all the stockings, and then he turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Good night, everybody. Pleasant dreams.